All right, now to discuss more, we are now being joined by Major General Rajesh Arya, former Chief of Staff of Kashmir Corporations and defense expert. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Josna. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, let me just begin by asking you your first reactions to the strike, and are we looking at a broader conflict?
Very good morning to your viewers, and it is a lovely day, and we all been waiting for last 2 weeks for this day to happen. As I said about a week back when I was asked on one of the channel that we needed to trust our government, trust our services, and trust our Prime Minister. It was not easy to avenge what happened on 22nd April. It was a targeted terrorist attack, and our response had to be very well weighed, calculated, studied, rehearsed, searched, and then strike the roots of terror. When you strike such, respond to such terror attacks, you see what the world saw what happened in Gaza. So Gaza is a very, very small area as compared to Pakistan. We Indian, as a very mature country and a very, peace-loving country, we wanted the least amount of collateral damage. And if the news have come into you, right, that we have purely targeted terrorist bases in different forms, the terrorist hideouts, the terrorist launch pads, and the terrorist headquarters of Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. We have not targeted any civilian target, any military target, any economical target. So it required a lot of preparation, and that is how we have gone. Yes, I personally feel it is not enough, but then yes, just from short of war, I think this is the best could have been done. Now it is up to Pakistan. We are fully prepared because as we all know, Pakistan has been supporting terrorism, using a state policy, terrorism as a state policy, and harboring terrorists for over decades. And therefore, I do not have any guesswork on how Pakistan is likely to retaliate. I only pray that the forces which struck, they all are safe and back into homes and bases. We will come to know these details later. And I am sure that Pakistan has got one of the hardest, 9 targets along the length and the breadth of a country is not a joke. I think it has happened in the world for the first time. For a country of the size of Pakistan, which is almost 1/3 of the size of India, to strike it along the length and breadth from Muzaffarabad to Bhavalpur and striking pinpoint on the terrorist target. That is a very commendable job, and my kudos to the services for that. I pray all striking force are safe, striking equipment is safe, and they have achieved their targets. Well done, forces. God bless you all. Jyotsna?
Yes, absolutely. Now, you're talking about Pakistan's reaction. Now, let's just say if it does, what kind of reaction are we looking at from Pakistan? We know that Pakistan has been facing already Western disturbances in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. We've seen some miserable attacks going on. Do you think Pakistan can actually afford a war? And if it does, what kind of reaction are we expecting?
Jyotsna, first, before you answering your question, you see the map at your screen. Tell me where in the history a country has been struck purely on a terrorist basis along its length and the breadth of the country. And that is the, deep malaise in Pakistan. This terrorist infrastructure is spread all across the country. At times, I do sympathize with the civilian population in Pakistan who are also suffering the wrath of these terrorists harbored in their area. I think it is the folly of the Pakistan army which has allowed to happen, the state to get into this place. Now, as far as the reaction from Pakistan is concerned, Pakistan is a failed state. We all know it well. Pakistan cannot, I repeat, cannot handle its own terrorists. It cannot handle its eastern border. It cannot handle its western border. Northern border. The more irrational decisions, more irrational actions it takes, the more it is heading towards a failed state. If Pakistan gets into war with us, in any case, Pakistan will see another 1971. It will break into four parts: Baluchistan, Punjab, POK, and Pakhtun. Sorry. So I don't think Pakistan can dare to get into a full-fledged war with anybody. So that is not a matter of concern. We never thought of it. But all the same, there will always be a collateral damage. There will always be irrational responses. We are fully prepared for it. Our border areas are fully prepared of it, and we will be able to handle that. Now it depends on how Pakistan reacts. We have, I think, our Prime Minister and our forces have shown tremendous restraints at the cost of not satisfying our emotional pain which we have been suffering since April 22. But that is the best they've done it. You know, such type of strikes, as you saw on the map, spreading approximately over, say, 1,500 kilometers by Army, Navy, Air Force, every available, tool of offense we had in our arsenal would have been used. I can see the ticker on the news. I don't know. I haven't had any talk with anybody. It was early morning. I just got a call from one of your live channel at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? What damage has happened? The time in days, it will slowly come out. Right. As I see somebody saying only 3 people killed. Let me assure you, you can quote my statement. I think this type of strike would have caused extensive damage to the Pakistan and extensive hit to the terrorist infrastructure in a huge number, much larger than Balakot.
Right. Now let's also talk about how if there is any chance of diplomatic solution, and what kind of reactions would you see, and what kind of reactions do you see from America or countries like Turkey when it comes to diplomatic solutions, and do we see any diplomatic solution in the future?
The world powers have failed to convince Pakistan to desist from this policy of terrorism. The Pakistan has become a center, or they call it epicenter of terrorism for the world over. The world tanzeems are getting shelter in Pakistan, right? I don't think there is any diplomatic solution for such type of problem which exists inside Pakistan. It is only the people of Pakistan which have to rise against this type of state policy, or people like India and the people like from Afghanistan and other countries which are affected by Pakistan terrorism will one day say enough is enough and wipe out the Pakistan from the world map. There is no other solution I see. No other diplomatic solution can work over it. Yes, we will keep talking about restraint. We have taken almost 17 days to decide on the target, recce the target. It is not easy to identify such places deep inside a country. And that is the reason we have taken that much of time, so that our targeting could be selective without causing major collateral damage.
All right. Now, how do you also assess the reaction of U.S. In this whole situation? They have been talking about how it was, they also looking for a solution to this. How do you assess the role of international bodies like U.S.?
Jyotsna, I think India has grown beyond looking at other countries. India is one of the largest countries in the world. Look what happened after 9/11. US invaded the perpetrator of that country for 20 years. US took 10 years to strike out Osama bin Laden. So I do not think any country has a moral high ground to give a sermon to India. I don't think any country will interfere in this. I'm sure before taking this action, the Indian government, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs had kept entire world informed of our intention, and possible action. And whatever I heard from the news, whatever I heard from the friends, I think everybody condemned this type of attack. Even the China condemned this type of attack in the very soft and roundabout words. Even the Turkey condemned it. So that's a symbolic one ship of Turkey lurking around in the Pakistan waters, or one aircraft coming and landing for refueling in the Pakistan airspace. Those are just semantics. I don't think any country is standing behind Pakistan on this.
Right.
Josna.
Absolutely. Now, these are two nuclear-armed nations we're talking about, and somehow Pakistan has also been talking about nuclear power. How do you look at that, and do you think it would ever escalate to that extent, where the countries do bring in nuclear power, and how do you assess Pakistan using the nuclear power?
Josna, how long Israel-Gaza conflict has been on? How many people? Millions of people have died. Look at Russia, Ukraine. Almost 3 million people have died. Has anybody used nuclear weapon? It's not a joke to use nuclear. There are, I think, tens and thousands of nuclear weapons in the world today. After Hiroshima, it has never been used. It is a weapon of deterrence. It is a weapon of deterrence. It is a weapon for peaceful utilization of energy. Pakistan is used to loose language. I wish they use it. Rest assured, in next 10 minutes, the Pakistan will be obliterated from the world map by India's reaction. They don't have a reason to use it, and they don't have courage to use it, and they don't have strength to use it. But we are prepared. As I said, Pakistan is just 1/3 or 1/4 the size of India. Can it take the India's wrath? No. The earlier Pakistan realized this, the better it is. So I am not scared even one bit of a nuclear bogey by Pakistan. Right. I'm just not scared.
All right. Well, of course, we'll be looking at absolutely. Now, as you said, of course, it's interesting to see how this all pans out. But thank you so much for joining in and giving your perspective on this.
Thank you, Josna, for having me.